What's up, everybody? What is going on? What is going on? What's up, everybody? So we are back in the studio again, man. Man, it's been very interesting. I have been doing not only moving around, getting things taken care of, but just paying attention to everything that is going on. It's just, man, some parts of it just don't even seem real for real. Um, We got other parts of it that's just confirming so many things for so many of us. Um, it's very interesting to watch as this timeline continue to progress. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very interesting. So tonight I just wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, more of the like, I guess, question and answer thing. So I got my comments on. My comments are up. So you got any questions? You got anything you want to just come on here and just type out and share whatever you want to talk about? We can do that. But in the meantime, um, I'm going to answer a question that came to me. Um, and it's an interesting question because, you know, in the course of all the things that's going on right now, like we got only a few days left to this one of the major elections that we've had in a long time. Um, people still trying to recover from um, certain catastrophes and storms and weather and all this stuff going on. Then you got media doing this thing in this way. You got wars happening. It's just a mess. So I think that in all of that we forget it's easy to get sidetracked from what's actually I'm not gonna say what's actually important, but what I am gonna say is what the root cause or the root issue with the world is. And things that are actually taking us in a certain direction by not understanding exactly what's happening in the world around us right now. Which that happens. And so that's where I come in because I've been getting a certain perspective, you know, um, to share. And so we gotta have these type of conversations. Now, mind you, now I spend most of my time talking to my people because my people, the way that we have to learn is different than everybody else. However, it's on the same wavelength. See, there are messages that are meant for the other foreign nation because there are things that they don't understand about the world they're in. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as the way it go right now is for my people. All right, so give me just a second. I'm sharing this to a couple of places on Facebook. Because it's important. We gotta get this stuff going, man. We gotta get stuff going the right way. We've been spending a lot of time. Um, we've been spending a whole lot of time drifting in our approach to so many different topics that we don't understand that all of these different actions, the election, the meetings happening behind the scenes, the world trying to destabilize the dollar and do all these different things. All of this is coming from one origin. It's coming from one source. When you can go down history well enough, you'll begin to see the source. It'll make sense because the source of all of these issues and all of these things is going on. The source of all of these things is always running alongside of every issue, but it's the unseen part. It's the part that's not spoken about. It's the things that happen from a spiritual dynamic, things that happen that manifest themselves into a third dimensional dynamic from a fifth and seventh dimensional dynamic. So we're given the reduction all the time. But we don't understand what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And so because of that, this is where, you know, myself and people like me come in, we have to begin to expand our world. And in order to do that, you have to be given the mind's eye to expand the mind. Because, see, this is the thing, and we get lost in this, but it's the truth. Like, we have the macrocosm and the microcosm, okay? And both of these things exist simultaneously. So you can get stuck in either or. Some people's mindset is so big that they can't see the reality of the small finite things in their life every day in order to fix the little things to make the big picture. But then some people is the opposite way. They see everything so small that they can't begin to fathom how massive the reality of the worldscape is. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the people fall somewhere in between. Okay, so now what that means is we have two responsibilities. We have responsibility to not only look at the microcosm or the little things, but we also have a responsibility that once we've seen the little things, once we've explored the small things, we have a responsibility to see a bigger picture and then help other people see the little things in order to see a bigger picture. Feel me? So we all carry this responsibility one to another. Now, the responsibility that a person carries is germane to their genome and phenotype, because it's not your responsibility to be responsible for a group of people that are outside of you, i.e., racism. This is the true definition of racism. The only definition of racism is I want to see my people win. Racism is not the issue, okay? It's not that. They love to throw that word around all the time, and most people don't even know the definition for real. They just use it because of the emotion that come with it. You know what I mean? Because that's how they ascribe to a feeling that they get from living a certain way every day. So they say racism, 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 but it's not really racism. Now, separating you from what is yours, okay? If I separate you from your book, if that's your book and I take it, I separate you from your book, and then I read your book, and then I turn around and live my life according to your book, but you've been separated from your book. That's what we're actually feeling. We're not feeling racism. What we're feeling is a child that is taking a lollipop from another child and won't give it back. You understand? So anything that they're gonna do, they'll slap you, they'll cry, they'll lie, they'll steal, they'll hurt you, they'll do all these things to keep you from getting back what's yours. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, so children who were created, we can go down that lane later, have taken something from this group of people and won't give it back. Now, the world itself, who sent the children in here, okay, and we can go down many different rabbit holes because you got the Cabbage Patch Kids, you got all kind of different theories and understandings that come into the children that was sent in here. The children that was sent in here on a mission, and they completed the mission. Now the world feels as though the children have gotten too powerful. The children have gotten too powerful on the world stage, so we need to destabilize them, bring them back down to size, while utilizing the wealth that they've stolen from a specific group of people in a different way. This is where you get the digital world coming in. See, this is where the digital perspective starts to come into play, because in order to transfer, see, and this is why I don't agree a lot of times with what people say off the top, because now you have a lot of our so-called conscious leadership are telling a lot of people to go into buying digital stock of gold. For instance, this company in Sweden proposes that it has stockpiles of gold. And what it does is it sells you a digital bank account with so much gold in it. For instance, if I say I want to go to Switzerland and say to this bank, I think it's called Glint, Glint is where you go. Glint will sell you the gold that's there. So let's say I want to put $400 in or $500 in. They'll put $500 of actual physical gold in an account for me, and then give me the digital representation of that $500 of gold. So if the gold fluctuates on the world market or increases, then my money in my account will increase. If it decreases, the money in my account will decrease. Okay. So that's an option that we're being given digitally for a representation of gold. There's an issue with that though. The gold that it represents, you will never see it. That's the first issue. So you don't even know if it really exists or not. That's the first issue. Secondly, it is based and predicated upon the world system or the world financial representation for gold. So it says gold is worth $2,500 an ounce, right? So that's the current standard. Here's the thing. If you look at the current crypto markets, and see, this is why a lot of those crypto people have unfollowed me now. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start talking reality to people, then they want to leave, they want to run. They don't even come to defend because it's the reality. You set people up in this way. Americans have been set up based on cryptology, on the cryptocurrencies, the current cryptocurrency markets. Here's the thing. When you go overseas, when you look into the overseas markets for cryptocurrency, XRP, which is one of the main functionalities for transferring currency across the digital world, XRP is being used by banks, Walmart, Amazon. All these different major money transfer people are using XRP as their financial basis for their digital systems. Overseas, XRP is running at about between $40,000 to $60,000 a piece, just like they have the Bitcoin. Okay, that's overseas. However, in America, XRP is only 55 cents. Okay, so that lets you know now that the market's representation on one side of the world can be completely different from the other side of the world. So now we go back to this digitized gold standard. On the other side of the world, the gold could be worth $70,000 an ounce. On this side of the world, it could be worth $20. What is that going to do? That's going to have the American people selling their gold at $20 an ounce, right? And receiving none of the value for the world market because we won't even know it exists. Just these are issues with these new digital things as they come online. But there's a massive push for these digital perspectives to become reality. Okay. So again, this is why I say this is where we come in, because if you're not paying attention to the things that are being taken away, you won't understand really where you're going. You just end up there. Then you end up there, you have no choice but to go along with it because you have no understanding of where you were. Now, what happened to even get us into this paper reality is House Joint Resolution of 1933, whereas the trade of gold and silver was deemed illegal. You can no longer trade in physical gold and silver anymore. Now you have to subscribe to this paper system. And the paper system was then hijacked and it became the fractional banking system, where we got the Federal Reserve. Now they want to further subjugate us away from the gold and silver, platinum, palladium, which is why we had the coin shortage. They want to further get us away from touching actual gold by telling us this: we'll give you a digital representation of the gold that's supposed to be inside of a vault. How do we know that that's real? You understand? How do we know where the gold is? What is that going to do to the people? Okay. Now, what gold does, I'm going to share my screen here so I can show you how this, because the physical properties of what gold does to melanin. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Okay, let me share my screen first. So, okay, news layout. Then we're gonna go present, share screen, window. Up, let me pull this up. Then I'll come back here. Go there. Share. All right. So let's look. Cool. Okay, now as we see what we're looking at right here, right? This is the National Library of Medicine, and I think this is the one I was looking at. I just want to make sure. Um, hmm. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Back to rows. Okay. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at, but not really. So look. Let's see. These changes could be. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm getting at here is that gold has a higher function, or makes the melanin go into a higher capacity for eliminating free radicals in the body. So when you see, especially inside of a melanated body, when you see a lot of our people like to wear gold. We wear gold jewelry, we wear gold teeth, we wear gold this, gold that, gold that. We are naturally attracted to gold, and the reason why is because of the alkalinity factor. It gives our immune system like a super a boost. Boosts the immune system to eliminate free radicals in the body and in the blood. Okay, I'm looking for a certain article. Let's see, antioxidant, anti-melanogen, melanin hybrids. Let's see. I've been gold nanoparticles, biosynthesis and potential for biomedical gold nanoparticles production biological method. It's eco-friendly. Cancer targeting gold decorated melanin nanoparticles. See, gold gives the body the opportunity to fight immunities and free radicals on the highest level. So look, let's matter of fact, here's a form of it right here. Monatomic gold. Okay. There's a reason why you have to keep um, the true people. You have to keep them away from certain things. It's like in order for the reality to work, there has to be um, we have to be kept away from the things that make us live and grow. You know what I'm saying? So we do have a slide to go through, because I'm gonna tell you all of this ties back into Atlantis, through the Mayans, through the Olmecs, the Inca, and the Muskogee. This is all our history. This is what we are. This is how we function. This is the opposite of what we've been being given. See, water, gold, copper, the elements of the earth, iron, all of these things that exist, they do us when they come together and we actually have the proper capacity of vitamin and minerals within the body in order to make the melanin function and flow the way it's supposed to. Then we begin to get bigger. We increase, our minds increase, our subconscious increase, the potentiality to cross across the veil into the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth dimensions increases. We begin to get back in congruency with the nature around us. It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? So look, monoatomic gold. Right now, you can buy this. It's called gold ormus or monoatomic gold. Look, they got some right here. See, you can get some. Like, the junk get expensive, but it's what it does for the body is excellent. So brain effects and the cognitive potential for monoatomic gold. And see, monoatomic gold is called like the dust of gold. What they originally called it was manna, or what is it? You feel me? Because it would literally be like a chalk on the ground, like it came from the sky. So when they say the scholars like to think that when the children of Israel were wandering in a certain desert after they got out of Egypt or whatever, this is what they were eating in order to sustain life: monoatomic gold. Okay, which means that the surrounding land that they were walking in would have been high deposits of gold mineral. Pretty sure eroded or grounded up. Maybe they were walking on a desert that was close to a beach, or somewhere where the gold would get ground up and then it would end up in a deposit like that. You feel me? So it is said that they were eating the monoatomic gold, and that's how they survived in the wilderness. All right, so look, let's just go into one of these. Go into one of them and see. Monoatomic gold, also known as Ethereum gold or Ormus gold, is an individual trace mineral found in nature, notable for its potential to optimize brain function, learning capabilities, and neural feedback. It is becoming an increasingly intriguing field of research. Okay, so it's a historical journey. Tracing back to ancient civilizations, the narrative of monoatomic gold intertwines with various cultures and epochs. Ancient Egyptians termed it as Mufzit, recognizing its potential to intensify spiritual encounters and divine connectivity. Other historical preferences include the philosopher's stone, which alchemists know, white powder of gold, or the elixir of life. So I'm saying it's called monoatomic gold. In 1970s, David Radius Hudson, an Arizona farmer, brought this unique substance back into the limelight when he stumbled upon it while mining gold and silver. Hudson's discovery of these unique elements, which he named ormes, initiated a wave of continued research. Okay, so the impact on the brain says that it enhances the vibration of the user on a spiritual level, often activating the Kundalini energy. The monoatomic structure penetrates every cell of the human body, elevating its frequency. This process could potentially result in heightened perceptual experiences like unintentional telepathy, auras, and energy field visualizations, lucid dreaming, and instantaneous manifestation. What is the catalyst that makes that work? It is water and melanin, or electricity. There's a certain level of electricity passing through the water into the monoatomic gold to create these type of realities to come online. Okay. Neural feedback, which is also important. See, all of this, and what they're talking about is that white sheet. See, as the nerve come online, the nerve endings come online, the brain gains a higher vibration. You know what I'm saying? And these things begin to come online. Then you're going to notice that the body's going to start charging up. What does that mean? A person, you could be sitting next to somebody and it gets really hot, or you see static start passing between y'all. You get close to them and you feel a frequency shift because they come into the room. Like, these things are where you're going to start to feel them first. Then you're going to start to see other representations of this. How? A lot of young people now are understanding how to use energy or to manipulate energy to make objects move with their mind. Go online, it's everywhere. The kids that this is happening to are melanated. The kids that this is happening to more frequently are melanated in America. Let's continue. So, monoatomic gold and its wellness. Oh, excuse me. We got to do neural feedback first. So we'll do the neural feedback. So it says monoatomic gold has demonstrated its potential in this area, with studies suggesting that it can assist the brain in achieving a state of homeostasis or balance. Moreover, the discovery of ormes, including monoatomic gold, potentially widens the range of its applications in neural feedback. Specifically, users have reported that ormus gold can bring about a state of serenity and clarity, propelling them into the theta wave states of the brain, which consequently boost intuition. The brain states are often a culmination of deep meditation, and many users report being able to attain this state almost immediately after ingesting this monoatomic gold. That's interesting, yo. That's very interesting. So now, when it comes down to wellness, because it's also important, Beyond its potential advantages for brain functionality and learning, monoatomic gold and other ORMEs are believed to amplify the body's innate healing capabilities and contribute to overall wellness. On a physical level, Ormus gold is reputed to bolster the immune system, repair DNA damage, and accelerate bodily healing. Users have even reported self-repair of dental issues and rapid wound healing after ingested. Additionally, due to the element's vital role in the body, ingestion of Ormus gold is said to produce a youthful or anti-aging effect on skin, hair, and nails. Furthermore, they are associated with spiritual and mystical experiences, with users often experiencing heightened intuition, psychic abilities, and feelings of enlightenment. That's crazy. So you get all of that from monoatomic gold. As well as that, it was also studied that monoatomic gold has property values that allows it to be lighter than air on the scale. So you put monoatomic gold on one side and nothing on the other side, and the scale will tip down on that side with nothing. Monoatomic gold is lighter than air. As a result of that, it has been used in many applications when it came down to furthering or enhancing flight in certain airplanes. It is also reported to have been used that's what's inside of the black box on an airplane to make it fly. That's insane. So anyway, we're going to keep going. And that's just one. Now, what we're talking about here is America is Atlantis. Okay. And we're talking about how the land or the energies are corresponding to the people of the land. It don't work any other type of way. So you get all these people, all this chatter, people talking about some, we elevating, we doing this, we doing that. No. What's happening is y'all have convinced some of these Negroes out here to include y'all in the expansion, but that's only going to go so far because the road is narrow. It is not wide, which means everybody can't go. That's why it says it. It says it in many books that are considered to be spiritual guides. You know what I mean? It says that the way to life is narrow. It is not a wide open path for everybody. It's narrow. So those of you that's holding on to people that's meant to be let go, you're going to understand. You're going to see it's going to, because you're going to go right there with them. The way is narrow. You have to turn away from the things that you have been taught in their entirety to understand where you're supposed to be, because the world longs for you. You don't long for the world. We're not out here longing for the world. The world longs for us. Until we realize that the world longs for us, it won't make sense. Why do you see so much of this stuff going on? Barack Obama talking to black men. For what? Don't you realize that who voted Obama in was all these women out here? Why are the women's vote? Isn't that not enough? Shouldn't you just come to the women and say, hey, y'all need to support Kamala? No, it's something else going on. There's something else going on. You see, they don't want to speak on this shit. You got to tell us. You got to talk about what's really good. You understand? There's something else going on here. Now, all of a sudden, everybody just trying to get on black men. What you talking about? We're not voting for that lady. Most black men can recognize a hole when we see it. We know it. We know who from what. Y'all just be think we be dumb. No, man. We know. Black men, we know. We know who, what, we know. We can tell you. We ain't even got to know your past. We can tell the energy coming out for you. We know. So we know what we're looking at when we're looking at it. So we ain't going. I mean, those days are over with. You know what I'm saying? So now it's about what type of energy is going to be reciprocated to the people that matter the most. You know, we get on these apps and stuff and we spread, you know, we share these diagrams and share this information, you know. You know, and we share this information with people. And we share these things about the true Indians. We share the history, we share the pictures, we share everything that we see. You know what I'm saying? And in order to take us back to that space of understanding who we are. You know what I mean? We share that space. We understand, we get it. So it has to be a different wavelength of energy that's coming towards us down this time. Because the old things, like, it's not working no more. So now as we look out there, what do we see? What do we see more of? We see more young men that's actually like, you know what, man, you're not talking right. Like, you're not talking in my favor. And they're actually able to decipher the language. That's new. That's new. Young black men that's actually like from that life, and they're actually able to decipher the language, to know and understand that you playing games. You playing games, and I'm not going for that. That's done. No more games. Okay. So if our people our young people are starting to do this, then who are the ones that's actually supporting this lady? Well, it's your sororities and your fraternities. Hogwarts, Harry Potter, Slytherin, and Gryffindor, and all this. That's what it's representative of. So they have a role to play. They have to do this. Where do you think Obama come in at? All that stuff is finished. Nobody's going for that no more. The sororities, the fraternities, the all of these different church groups and all this different type of, all that stuff is gone, man. It's time to let all this stuff go. You know what I mean? Because what it's doing is it has overshadowed and it is blocking the original man and woman from seeing their true place in this world. From being able to see how much they're being played with, how much their wealth is being transferred hand to hand and never touching their hands. And if it do touch their hands, then guess what? If it do come back and touch their hands, guess what? It's a warrant put out somewhere. You get warrants for touching what's yours. Meanwhile, the rest of the world can touch what's yours with no warrants. The Smithsonian is holding our history hostage. But we can't see it. It's our history, but we can't see it. This is hilarious. It's funny. It's beyond funny now. It's stupid at this point. Because there's no reason that we should still be allowing these type of situations to come about for us. There's no reason. We have so much access. We got so many resources, and we're still blocked. How? D, what up? What to do, man? Oh, I gotta get with you too, man. So we can go ahead. We can get that little work done. But how are we still tracking behind these people? Like tracking behind them. Who is voting for Kamala Harris that's trying to get us messed up? That's trying to convince you. It's the black people that don't classify themselves as black people. They're better than you. When you go to the church, they got their nose up in the air. They holding their pocketbook with two fingers and sitting down and put a napkin down first and all that. Like they better than everybody else. Look around you. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Those are the ones that's big up in this woman that's only been laying on her back and opening her mouth to get up in the political game. It's really a slap in the face. No policies. At least we know some of what Trump policies are. And we also understand through Trump policies that there is going to be a worldwide war on black. A worldwide war on black. It is our opportunity. This is our opportunity and our responsibility to separate ourselves from their system. Most of us will never get this message. And that's what they're banking on. So yes, people going to go, say, I'm going to go vote for Trump. I'm going to go do this, that, and third. Yeah, a lot of us are going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But we won't have an understanding on how important it is or what the most important thing that we're supposed to be looking at in this hour. And that is our classification of status. That is our bloodline, family. Who are you? You understand? Because it's going to come a time where it's going to be asked of you. And the minute you say wrong, I'm black, I'm African American, I'm a Negro, I'm this, I'm that. All of these titles that you've been given because you have no understanding, you refuse to go and just look at your family again. And you refuse to go pull up the records that hold your family dynamic, you hold your family documentation. Because you refuse to do these things, there's going to be a hell to pay for that. This is what Trump is trying to say. So it's not so much as saying, oh, Trump is a bad person, this, that, and third. No, it's always a mental push. Look at it, then look at it again. A war on black? What you mean we can't sue the police no more? What do you mean? Can't sue the police? Why would you not be able to sue the police? Well, have you not looked at the definitions? Don't you understand what the police's capacity is? They are considered to be sovereign. Sovereigns don't get sued. You understand? Not from a lesser employee, not from a slave. Black has been put back on the books as slavery. You don't get it? With all these new people coming into this land, the classifications are going to begin to shift. It's a certain system they're trying to bring back online. It's a certain system. They want it back online. And the only way to do that is to trick you. They can't force you. They're not going to force you because they never could. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth about it. They never could force us. They could never force us to do nothing. The only thing they could do was ostracize us away from the... Look, when you take and go into the South, you have a lot of rural areas in the South. When I say rural, I'm talking about you got houses that may be 2 miles from the next house. Okay? So if you got a plantation that's like Missouri Candy, and you 40 and 50 miles from the next plantation, the next house, and you're in charge, and all of those people got to do what you say, that's all your property because that's the way you run your land. 30 to 40 miles away from the next plantation. Who gonna know what you're doing on your land? Nobody knows. That's why a lot of that stuff was going on. See, when you go up north, you had more of the city life. You had more of the city life. You have Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, so a lot more of those cities were condensed together. So you couldn't get away with thinking you finna be around here beating on people and doing all. No, because now these black folks coming from over here and those black folks coming from over there. But in the South, you're separated. Everybody's at the mercy of the landowner. So you could get away with that stuff more. This is why now we have in the South, we have what they call the sundown towns. It's a lot more of them in the Midwest, in areas where there's not very many people at. You know what I'm saying? Because you get away from the FBI and the CIA and all that when you go more rural. So you can get away with that stuff. See what I'm saying? That's why it exists. See, if the CIA was really that tight-knit to where they was all over the country in every small corner and crevice, all of that racism stuff, it wouldn't be like that because there would be immediate clapback. You know what I'm saying? See, like if you can go to Mississippi and the police can kill prisoners and bury them right in the backyard and nobody know about it for 20 years, of course you can expect stuff to go on. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be aware more of what's going on in our land and how this is going to affect us and our children going forward. And that's all I'm saying. Because if we're not paying attention to where our money is going, then we're going to be following right behind it as property, as money. Look at prison. It's why I will never respect anybody that invests in a prison industrial complex. Some may say it's so smart, but really it's not when you understand what's going on and who it's being done to. You understand? So what I have for y'all tonight, you know what I'm saying? It was more like, questions. You got any type of questions, comments, things you want to say. But outside of that, I wanted to show y'all something. And I wanted to show y'all from, hold on. And y'all should definitely read that book if you understand what that is. So all of this is predicated on this, that America is actually Atlantis. And I want to show you this because it's very important to understand. Okay, so certain words, you want to write this down. Mauritania. Now that is going to be, when you type it in, you're going to see it as coming off the coast of Africa, right? But that is the lesser community. Just like Egypt in Africa is the lesser colony, it's secondary. It was built by the Egyptians over there on that landmass to represent what was going on in America. Okay, so the Mauritania that you see there today was a lesser colony of Atlantean people. Okay, remember now the Western hemisphere starts past England, past Spain, all of that, because they say that the black nobility, that was originally us. We showed everybody how to live, how to have buildings, how to have commerce, how to do things tribally. We showed the world how to live. So Atlas was a king of Atlantis. Notice how he's holding up the world. That shows the massive, or the might, of these copper tone people in the original day. The American copper tone man, woman, and child were kings of the world in the early days. We were the origin. You'll see. So let's see what we got. Hold on. Let's see. Is that going? I guess I don't want to let me. Hold on. Go here. So look, in Mexico, you have what's called the Eye of Atlantis. Okay, in the Teotihuacan, all right, peninsula. So this is called the Eye of Atlantis. An eye is normally in the center, So this would have been a central point of the Atlantean island. Now, if the Eye of Atlantis is on the land and not in the ocean, like they tell you in Bermuda over there, the Eye of Atlantis is on the land, then what does that tell you about the landmass surrounding it? This is in the center. So the landmass around it must be, let's keep going. Okay, now this is an old 1661 Sansa map of the Atlantis Insula. Okay, now let's see what they say here. If you see here on the land, see that says Atlan, Atlan. Then we go down, it says TIS. Okay, down here. Matter of fact, let me see if I can make this full screen for y'all. Hold up. Let me see if I can make it full screen. Hold up. Matter of fact, I know what I'll do. All right, I'm gonna exit full screen. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna make this full screen. Boop, I'm gonna put myself picture in picture on y'all. Yeah. Boom. Now I'm down here in the corner. Okay, cool. All right, so look. So now let me go back to my map over here. Just a second. All right, so look. What you're looking at here, if you look right down the middle of the American continent, there go Florida right there. I'm circling Florida. Okay. So if you look right down the middle of the United States, it says Atlant. Then when you come down to South America, it says TIS Insula. So the Atlantis Insula is all of this. The Eye of Atlantis is sitting in Mexico here, somewhere around here. Okay. All of this is Atlantis. This is the secret. You understand? On your world maps today, mind you now, this map was done in 1661. Okay, what is reverse is forward. However, all of the maps in the current day are made in order to not include Atlantis, because Atlantis has always been in the world. You can see it. It's always in the world. We look at it every time we look at a map. We spin a globe, we look at Atlantis. But it's been classified not to be called Atlantis. Do not call America Atlantis on the map. It will open up a can of worms that we probably won't be able to close. So many questions. Okay. Now, let's see if I can read some of this down here. Matter of fact, let me see if I can zoom in on it. Hold on. I'm gonna zoom in some. I'll go 110. Oh, it won't let me zoom in. Will it? No, it won't let me zoom in. All right, so Atlantis. Let me go back to 100. All right, bet. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. So, all right, so that's that. See, look at that. Hold on, I'm zooming in, making it full screen here. Okay, there we go. All right, now. No, yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom in on that and then clean it up so I can see it and read it. Let me see if I can find some. And see, look, here go the Ethiopian Ocean. You see that? The Ethiopian Ocean. What does it say? Oh, Pacificus. Insular of the Atlantean island. This is Atlantis. Amazing. Oh, wait. Hide that. Go this way. Go this way. All right, now look. So this is the old world 1595 Mercator map of the North Pole. All right, as shown as the Garden of Eden and Mount Meru. So there was this guy that I used to follow on YouTube, and he was like, everybody used to deem him crazy all the time, but he'd be like, man, this man's so crazy, man, so crazy. But he used to always be like, if you want to escape, you have to go north, then north. He will always say that. Go north, then north. Lay the map out flat. It's not a globe. It's flat. Lay it out flat. Then you go north. Okay, so if we're in America here, this is considered Canada, right? So from America, we would go north through Canada, go all the way to the north, which would take us into the Arctic Ocean, and then go north again, which would take you to the island of Eden Meru. Now, nobody talks about this. On the old maps, on older maps, maybe like the 70s and the 80s, there used to be a landmass at the top of the map in the North Pole. Now, if you look at the maps now, there's nothing up there but water. Okay? This is the tricks that we have to go through in order to figure out what's going on for real. So the old maps marked this place where there was a split and you had 4 islands, and out of the 4 islands came 4 rivers. See, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And in the middle, or this was called the Garden of Eden. See, there's a reason why Iceland is so green. And the further you go north, on the European continent, the further you go north, Scandinavia, all of that, the water is crystal clear. It's so clean you can drink it directly from the source. Purest water on the planet. Now, in ancient texts, which we're going to talk about this later as well. But in ancient texts, quite a few of them actually, they spoke about a great tree that used to sit in the middle of Eden Meru. It was a massive tree, and the tree would be synonymous to the tree that was in the movie Avatar, that everybody would sit around and they would do their chants and connect their hair to, and then the tree would give them life, like the Great Mother. Now, according to the text, The tree was cut down, okay, along with many other giant trees around the world. Um, but the tree was cut down because of its connection with the original people of the land. It was a source of power. Okay, so the tree was taken down. Now, as a result of the tree being taken down, it left behind its spiritual remnant. And the spiritual remnant can still be seen to this day. And it is called the Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis is the spiritual energy that now leaks from the stump of the tree, which is which has been classified as a mountain in the north, or Asgard. Again, I always tell people all the time when we start talking about it, truth is stranger than fiction, because Asgard is where Thor come from. Was Thor not synonymous to being a Viking? Okay. Okay. So now we have Eden Meru, Atlantis. You see where Canada is. This is coming down from Eden, Greenland, into Atlantis. Okay. Then you have Europe, Russia, and Asia. Now, this is a young noble Ethiopian from America. Ethiopian meant dark skin. Okay, so an Ethiopian can range from America all the way into Africa to Asia. The original people all over the world were Ethiopian. They called themselves Ethiopian because that meant dark skin. Okay, not because it was a place in Africa to go to. All right. I should do that. Uh-oh. I don't know what they have now. I don't know what they have left. Let's see. All right, we're back. Hold on. Let me just keep strolling. And keep scrolling. Okay. Hold on, wait a minute. Something right with it. So I know I had more slides than that pulled up. Let me see. Shut up, man. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is a book by Richard J. Dewhurst. All right. So this is the giants, the ancient giants who ruled in America. And this is talking about the cover up with the Smithsonian. Remember when I told you the Smithsonian got a lot of our artifacts hidden and they won't let us gain access to them, which is also what was being talked about in the Black Panther. Okay. When what was Michael B. Jordan character name? When he went into the museum and they had everything on display and it was white in there, and he told them that he was here to take all his stuff back. See, that's who he's talking. He was in the Smithsonian. Everything inside of the Smithsonian, well, the majority of the things in the Smithsonian belong to the original people of America. And the original people of America is you and me. And they stole our history, taught us against our history, made us forget our history, and now we have what we're looking at today. Now we're on this scramble to find our way back. And see, the issue is, the thing about it is that Trump knows all of this. This is what he's been moving on for a long time. So you gotta look. Sometimes you have to stop and think outside of people's charades and shenanigans and games and stuff. You got to stop and think about what's really happening. In the past 16 years, the Democrats have held office for 12. Now let that soak in. The Democrats have held office in the past 16 years, they've held office for 12 out of 16 years. That is 3 terms out of 4. The one term that they didn't have was when Donald Trump was in there. Yet we sit here and complain about this and complain about that. I don't understand. We don't look at anything in its entirety. We don't look at things with a critical eye. So we don't understand what's really going on around us. We just talking from emotion as usual. That's just how we do. Okay. Okay. We spoke about the eye of the eye of so look, this is an overhead view of the eye of Atlantis. Okay. From a satellite position. This is where the eye of Atlantis falls, in the middle of the lands. There's North America, there's South America. Here, the West Indies is right in the middle, the Eye of Atlantis. So all of this is Atlantis. Okay. Look, this is the Atlantis Insula. When we saw it on that other map, it was Canada. Yeah, you got Europe, Asia, see it there? Africa, look. Hyperborea, which was Eden Meru, Polus Arcticus, or the North Pole. See? Atlantis Insula. This is what we're looking at, which is also America. America, yeah, the American Peninsula, Asia. See? Russia, Europe, Eden Meru, or the land of Eden, the Garden of Eden, which is separated at the four corners. Remember it said they put an angel at the four corners of the Garden of Eden? Look at the four rivers. You can't get in. You see, look at the mountain range protecting it. You're not getting in. You see that? So in order to gain access, you have to come in through the waterway. The waterways are protected. Okay. Now, if the Vatican is over here somewhere, this is Europe, and the Vatican is over here somewhere, then you got Russia over here, right? Then you got Asia over here, and America here. Then who's running this? That's a lot of land. This is an ancient map. Don't mean that the land went away, just mean that they stopped putting it on the map. So who's up here running this? All right, let's keep going. Who knocked down the tree so they can have them a little kingdom right here in the middle? Okay, let's go. That what we just said: Eden Meru, Asia, Russia, Europe, Greenland, Canada. Okay. Okay, this is one of the sacred symbols of Mu. This is also an Atlantean symbol. This is also a Mayan or an Aztec symbol. It falls down the line. All these things correlate, which is also, look, spring. This is the Big Dipper. You see that? The North Star. You see how the Dipper is going around, which makes what? The swastika. So the swastika was not a bad symbol in its origin. It was adopted and utilized for things and given a negative connotation. But it's not, its origin is not negative. It's a celestial body. Look at this. This is a book called Atlantis in Mexico, The Monday Discovery of America by Clyde Winters. Atlantis in Mexico. You ain't gonna believe it. Look at this here. Atlantis Island. You see that? It's called Atlantis Island. All of this, Turtle Island, Atlantis Island. It's out in the water. It's not connected to the other stuff. It's an island. America is an island. It's a giant island called Atlantis. That's why everybody want to get over here so bad. See, everything else broke off from here. Not the other way around. They wanted to be centered around there so bad, but it's not. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Everything else broke off from this. Look at this. The Atlantic world in 1607. This is Atlantis. Look at that. Florida. Look, you see that? Hispaniola. California out here. Toronto, Canada. Alaska, look. All of this. This is Atlantis. This is the Atlantic world. Atlantis. Okay, this is Atlantis Insula again. Look, America, aka Atlantis. Atlantis, right there. Atlas. See, it's right there. Broken out. 1669. Atlas continent. Atlas Mountains. The true Atlas Mountains. Atlas. So in Greek mythology, Atlas was a titan who was condemned to hold up the celestial heavens for eternity after the Titanomachy, which would have been when the war. Atlas also played a role in the myths of two of the greatest Greek heroes, Heracles, the Roman equivalent being Hercules, and Perseus. According to the ancient Greek poet Hesiod, Atlas stood at the ends of the earth in the extreme west. Later, he became commonly identified with the Atlas Mountains in northwest Africa and was said to be king of Mauritania. Atlas was said to, or was the son of the Titan Lepidus and Oceanic Asia or Clemmine. He had many children, mostly daughters, the Hesperides, the Hyades, or the Hades, the Pleiades, and the nymph Calypso, who lived on the island Ogygia. Calypso. Calypso is an interesting one. That was on, Calypso was the lady on Pirates of the Caribbean. And she was black, but she was like a witch, right? And they had her locked up on that boat. And then she turned into a giant. You see, and this is what I'm talking about. The giant people of America, the original builders of America, the ones who built the World Fair buildings in Chicago and in the Midwest and all these different places. Okay, the ones where the reasons we had to build star forts was because of giants in the land. There's an anime about that. Matter of fact, what is that anime about the giants? Let me go look up. Hold on. Yeah, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. That's the name of it. The name of it is called Attack on Titan. Atlas, who was the son of the Titan, Lepidus, and the Oceanic Asia, he had many children. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's called Attack on Titan. That's the anime. You feel me? Look at this. See? That's why we had star forts. Great Wall of China. Keep out the giants. And see, look how they classify the giants. It's crazy. They want the giants to be seen as them, as similar to them. But no, the giants they was looking at, they were melanated. You don't grow like trees without the melanin. You got to have the melanin. You got to have the right frequency. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the right frequency in order to grow like the trees. You see, and Calypso showed us that. Calypso changed her physical being from small as them to a giant, a titan. Talk about superpowers coming online. It's all based on frequency. That's why they want to keep you dehydrated. They don't want your souls to touch the ground. No electricity, no electrical current. They want your minds to be stuck in a box. Then we sleep in a box. We sleep on a box spring. We sleep on a box bed, and we walk out of a box door. Squares and rectangles all the time. It's all for a reason. Keeps us small. Keeps the mind trapped. Okay. So this talks about how there were no less than 5 races, really 3, which went from Mauritania or America to India, to whom is ascribed astronomy and the zodiacs, the Brahmins of India, Ethiopians of Africa, Chaldeans of Babylonia, Phoenicians of Mauritania, and Atlantides. Okay, we were all of these things. So we were all these things. And we were moving around the world. That's why it says that in the Bible, it says that the bloodline of God is spread all over the earth. Okay, because we were in all of these places. All right, and we moved around in these places. This is how the rest of the world learned from us. Okay. The Atlantides, they are the children of Atlas, king of the Atlantic Isle. The Atlantides are also called Oceanides, that is to say, they are the people living in the Atlantic Ocean. It is true that Diaz, Siculus makes Atlas Egyptius, king of Mauritania, but Mauritania is not an island, and it can by no forced construction be called the Atlantic Isle, and Mauritania offers no evidences of having been the abode of astronomers. To find Atlas as an astronomer, one must look beyond the Atlantic Ocean. That's right. In other words, one must look to America for the Atlantides who knew all the soundings of the deep and had obelisks on which were drawn the systems of heaven and earth. Those were the Mayans, the Incas, the Aztec, the Olmec, us. You had to look past the islands that were in the Atlantic Ocean, such as Haiti, Jamaica, Barbados, Cuba. You got to look past that and go into the land. Then you're going to find the people that have the real secrets, the true secrets, the deeper secrets. It was us. It's always been us. It's always been about us. That's why all of this stuff feels so surreal. That's why when we get online and post these pictures and we tell people about what's really going on, they can't do nothing but laugh. They have no scholarship. You see what I'm saying? All of these pale-skinned people that think that they're really Indians, they can't do nothing but laugh because there's no proof that they can bring. None. That they stole the identity. They stole last names. They stole birthrights. They have no proof that they didn't do that. There's no proof. Meanwhile, we could prove to you over and over and over that we've been here since before everybody. Nobody existed before us. It was us. We invented last names. Our last names have merit. They have weight. They have value. That's why the rest of the world wants them. That's why the rest of the world has to communicate with us how we communicate. They didn't have no last name. Coming out of a cave, they didn't know nothing about no last name. They didn't even know about no first name. It wasn't even about that titleship and all that. We created that. We pulled contracts from the demon world to be utilized in this landmass. It was us because we were the original creators of contract. We didn't use contract for negative devices. We didn't use them in that way. Our contracts were simple. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Treat one man how you want to be treated. Don't do this, don't do that. We had simple contracts. So life was simple. Now you get these other people come around and everything has to be so complex because it's all built on lies. Only lies get more and more complex. Now you try to go deal with the government. You got to fill out 40 forms just to go sit down and talk with somebody. That's because it's all built on a lie. It's all built on a lie. And the lie is being exposed in rapid pace. It's all built on lies. So anybody can come in there and say, well, our people need to learn financial literacy. Yeah, but whose financial literacy? That's important because maybe we're not made to learn that. We don't have to lie. See, in this system that's built around us, now we got to lie. See, it makes women go to the child support system and lie. It makes men go to do their taxes and lie. It's creating liars. If you want to win, you better tell a lie. Man, come on, man, it's not real. If I want to win, I got to lie. If I want to win, I have to put myself in a situation or build negative contracts just to win. Yes, that's how this works. You can't be honorable and think that you're going to win in a fraudulent system. See, even the fraudulent system gives you the color of law where it can bend the meaning of honor and dishonor. It can twist it up. and have you thinking that you're being in dishonor when you're actually moving in honor. And then they'll make a charade of honor to where you think that honor is really dishonorable, like Judge Judy. It's a charade. So it makes a charade of what it means to truly stand in honor in a courtroom. See, they can't have that, because if they have you looking at that as if it's real, then the game they play with us every day don't work no more, because it's really fraudulent. See how this game works? It's so subtle. It tells you the truth, but it deceives you with the little bit of truth that it gave you, because it could compound as many lies they want with that same truth. That same truth is there to lure you in a little bit. Now I get you a little bit of attention. Now I can compound these lies and build a lie, fabricate the lie. You'll fall for it. Without proof, you just go for it. It's amazing. It's amazing the world we live in, man. You know, it's really amazing. So what they're telling you is that the Atlantides who lived in America had the true information, the information that the world sought. The children of Atlas is what we are. The children of Atlas, the original Mauritanian king, American king, a giant. That's interesting. For example, the people who migrated across the Mediterranean into Spain from North Africa were known as Moors or Moorish, a derogatory name meaning dark. Think moon and night. They came from Moroccan cities such as Marrakech, again meaning land of God, and Mauritania, both located beneath the Atlas mountain range west of Egypt. Okay, so they're telling you about the African landmass. In this way, the word for dark was likely taken from these dark people's belief in Meru and corresponding Egyptian root Mer. We can say the same about Meru as a name in India. Okay, again, dark-skinned people that came from that African genetic line. Okay, but when they refer to Mauritania, even though that name given to Africa is the secondary, is a copycat. The origin was for the king Atlas. Okay, they even gave the Atlas mountain ranges in Africa. That's secondary. That is not the origin. Mauritania has a meaning called the land of God. Okay, so that name was taken away from the original place. The original place being Mauritania, which was where? America. You just said it on the previous slide. Let's go back. Look, makes Atlas king of Mauritania, but Mauritania is not an island, and it can by no forced construction. It can be called the Atlantic Isle, and Mauritania offers no evidences of having been the abode of astronomers. To find Atlas, one must look beyond the Atlantic Ocean. In other words, one must look to America for the Atlantides who lived in Mauritania. So Mauritania was referencing America, meaning the land of God. So that you see now where your Orishas come from. Mind you now, Bill Clinton was just given status of Babalao. So he is now the highest esteem in the Yoruba practice. Bill Clinton. Okay? Bill Clinton was the same person that got that lady out from trafficking them kids across the border, them 30-some kids that she had, and she was working for Bill Clinton. And he has now been indicted into the IFA as the highest esteem. He paid for that, and they gave it to him. I told y'all, man, you don't need to be joining up with this stuff. You don't understand what you're doing. That what you think you're following is not what you think you're following. Get out of this IFA. Get out of this fraternities and sorority, all this. Y'all better let our stuff. That is not what you think. It's not what you think it is. They just gave the highest esteem to Bill Clinton. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's a joke. It's a game. and it's predicated to use the American bloodline to create a system of dignitary for that religious group. It ain't got nothing to do with being spiritual. All they talk about is money and connections. So much so, they'll have our women running to a Caucasian man thinking that that's going to save their life. Oh, I want my man to be light. I want my man to be white. I want my man to be this. That is what that EFA stuff is doing to our people. It's not the true way. But just like Christianity, over time, you'll realize that. Okay? When you get done wearing all of this and Lakers and all this stuff like this, then you'll realize what you're really doing. You don't understand what you're doing. That's why at the top of every single EFA organization, there's an African, a real African, an African nobility, because they have to lead y'all to your destruction. They can't make you do it. They just leadership. But you'll never see an American black person over the EFA. You won't see that. It don't work like that. Just like your pastor come in over the church and that's your intermediary between you and the cross on the wall, that pastor, now it's the same thing for the Yoruba. It's the same thing. They'll never allow you to step over the African. It won't happen. It's always going to be an African, because that African nobility bloodline must rule over the American autochthonous Indian, the indigenous. They've converted you. Like Catholicism, same thing. It's nothing no different. Okay. So this was to show y'all that America is Atlantis. You could take these documentation, see this book right here. Take this book, go read it. It's telling you about what's going on. Oh, let's come up out here and see what else we can get off into. It's telling you about what's going on. Okay? The Khans of Asia Minor were Americans. Look, America is a true old world. On ancient China, the land of the Orient. The original Africa. America is a true old world. See? So look, the Khans of Asia Minor were America. So we originally went over to them. How do you think they learned how to do karate? What about the Indian people learning about Hinduism? Where do you think they got that from? Man, we was all over this mug. That's what you got to understand. We as a people were all over this place. Okay? And all that mixing around, what they want to tell you what mix around, don't nothing. Listen, when you come down to look at it, nothing lasts when you mix our blood in. Nothing. Okay? Not a thing. Once you mix our blood in it, it's gone. That's Asian, that's Hindu Indian, that's African, that's European, that's anything on this planet. You mix our blood in it, it's gone. And if you keep mixing our blood in it, you won't even know the other blood even existed. That's how powerful we are without even lifting a finger. You mix our blood in anything else on this planet, the other thing is gone. I ain't gonna let them keep playing with me. I won't. Shoot, you got it. Somebody, man, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? You see? What do you want me to do? Oh, you talking about the Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans, that's Dr. Umar and them. New Wapi, all that mess. I'm telling you, like, you don't understand. This is where it's at. Look, you see exactly what's going on here. Look at this. Arctic North Pole, Mount Meru, the Garden of Eden, is in Genesis of the King James Bible. 2 verses 10 through 14 lists 4 rivers and associated with the Garden of Eden: Pishon, Gihon, Chiddekel, the Tigris, and Pharat, the Euphrates. It also refers to the land of Cush, translated and interpreted as Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a Greek word which means burnt face or sun-darkened people, aka black Negroes. Okay? With regard to the Ethiopians, Strabo indicates that they look similar to Indians, remarking, Those who are in Asia, South India, and those who are in Africa do not differ from each other. Okay. Those who are in Asia or in South India and those who are in the African subcontinent do not differ from each other. They're the same people. When you see a Hindu Indian and an African, they are the same blood. It's just been mixed with the white Asians. See, those white Asians, see, you gotta understand something. Those white Asian people over there, the white Asian people with the straight black hair and the white skin over there, those are not Asians. Okay? Those are not Asians. Those are more related to Caucasus Mountain people. Those are Caucasoids. Those are not Asians. Do you understand what you're looking at? Those are not Asians. Those are Caucasoids. Those people over there in Japan and China, and they skin white and they hair all, those are Caucasian people. More related to Yeti, the caveman. So what we're looking at when you come over here and you say, oh, black people in America, you got Asian in your family. Yes, it's from the black-skinned Asians, the black-skinned Asiatic groups that were taken as slaves and then transmigrated to America. Attila the Hun is responsible for that. Okay? So this is where you come in and say, look, boom. The Native American, the Mexican, and the Eskimo, they're all related to each other. Why? Because that's the mixing of blood with the white-skinned Asian and the dark Asian in America, okay, and created those people. The white-skinned Asian or the Caucasian with the dark-skinned Asian, the origin of Asia, and you create those people. Now, some of them, a few of them, actually mixed blood with our people. We took some of them in as slaves, some of them was workers. Some of our people was holding up borderlines, so we was mixing in, intermingling with them. You know what I'm saying? We had different dynamics where we would come in contact with them. But most of what you're looking at when you're looking at a Eskimo, a Native American, and a Mexican, you are looking at a Caucasian mixed with a dark-skinned original Asian. That's what you see. Ain't got nothing to do with us. Here we go again, providing welfare for another motherfucker. There we go. Providing welfare, somewhere to live, somewhere to stay for another motherfucker. There we go. That big old heart we got. Man, it's just so big. That heart we got, it's just so big. Then you come in from the east side. Now we got the Cabbage Patch Babies, which are actually clones, but are actually hybrids that are being introduced into the public society as if they're real people. There are a lot of those out here. Why do you think so many of them cannot reproduce? Where do you think all of a sudden all this thing coming along, they can't have babies no more? It's because a lot of them are actually clones and hybrids. They are what's called the Cabbage Patch Babies. Go look it up. All of this is real history. Babies grown inside of cabbages. The head of a cabbage. That's where the toys, the cabbage pail kids come from. Y'all understand what's going on, man. This world is not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. And then we go again, providing some type of help to somebody else. 13, you can take 13 colonies, that's cool. Yeah, stay in there though. But do they listen? No. Why? Because they're not trained to listen. That's why they created the Bible for them, not us. We are the blueprint that the Bible is made from. The morals, the morality. But that is talking about a Moorish bloodline by conquering our blood. You see? Where is it? Where is this? How does this world come forward to produce Lilith as a negative demonic entity for us? She's not that for us. Lilith is not there for us because Lilith is our mother. Lilith is the progenitor. Oh, excuse me. Lilith is a family member. This is what we got to understand. See, it's only us that's been disenfranchised. Lilith is a family member. It's blood. So you trap Lilith. You use the power to control the women. That's why so many of our women is under this spell. They really think that they're really going to go be everything that a Caucasian man needs for them to be. You can never be enough. Never, ever. It's not designed to work that way. That's genetics. It's not me hating on nobody. I don't care who you sleep with. That's you. But the reality is it's not designed for that. So it's always going to be a conflict of interest because there's a certain level that you can go to that he can't go. So it's either going to go one or two ways. Either he's going to have to take the excruciating pain of growth in order to produce a little bit of what you produce naturally to begin to try to climb into higher perspectives. It's almost impossible. Or this is the easiest. Or you just release your melanin. Let your melanin begin to, what is it? What's the word? Dilute. You let your melanin begin to dilute and you begin to lose the concentration of melanin within oneself in order to be congruent with your newfound love interest. That's why when they say a lot of these dudes out here, when they get with a Caucasian chick, they'll be like, man, that dude look like he washed out. Of course. One or two things has to happen. Either she has to take the excruciating journey. Why? Because she has to walk through the fire. Look what happened whenever a Caucasian go in the sun. It's excruciating. In order to elevate, to produce a little bit of the melanin needed to go across the dimensional veil, it'll never happen. So most of us, what? We opt for the second option. We reduce ourselves. That's what we do. We reduce ourselves. Let me check on the other side, make sure I ain't got no question popped up. Hold on. Let me go check right quick. Make sure ain't no questions popped up. Hold on, we got some on there. Andrea, what's up? So we got people coming in. But that's what it is. And it's not to be mean to nobody, but somebody has to tell both sides the truth. Why do you think so many of the people that have been mixed-blooded, why do you think so many of them have so much mental issues and emotional issues? You literally have wrapped two dimensions in one body and think that there's not going to be a war. Somebody has to win. One set of the blood got to win. It's not to be mean. It's the reality. There's a war. See, and just because you can't see the war does not mean it exists. The war shows you where it is. Like I said, you mix the blood in these children and put them out there in the world and watch how they act. Most of them go insane. When you go into the you know, what they call it for children, when they get in trouble and whatever, they don't go to jail. They go to the other place, whatever, for kids. When they go to this place, you see a lot of those people in there mixed. A lot of those mixed kids in there, they just can't handle themselves. It's not that they mean to purposely be like that. They can't help it. And these things are not talked about. You know, they can't help it. They go to juvie. They can't help it. These things are not talked about the conflict of interest in the blood. They don't talk about it. You know what I mean? It's important for us to know this stuff. This world is not what we think it is. So our people have a great responsibility to jump dimensions in this hour. We're supposed to be dimension jumping. And what does that mean? That means that the things that have been kept away from us by our family, that's really the main part. The stuff that's been kept away from us by our family. because family do it to you on purpose. They keep you off the wavelength on purpose. Okay, if you let them. But the things that have been done, we are the generational curse breakers in this hour. We have more than enough resource to gather more than enough information to begin to teach like we're doing that right here. And change. Because you take action on it. You know what I'm saying? If these things are not shifted and done within what they call it, the 7 year of a tribulation or whatever. So 20, we're going to 24. So it's been 3 years so far. So we had 20. 20 was the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new one in 20 because we had an election in 20. So that was the beginning of a cycle. So we've been in this thing for 3 years. We got another 4 years. This is a 7 year tribulation since 2020 when it came in with the CVD 19 and all that. Now we got 4 years left of this tribulation. You feel me? And then the powers that's supposed to be word gonna take over again. It's time to get it right, yo. It's time to get it right. So me and my people been talking, man. We got the classes coming. We just putting everything together. I didn't know so much went into like producing, getting things in order so people can actually learn and it can flow right. You know what I mean? But it's a lot that go into that, make it a class and all that. But so the class is coming for y'all so that y'all can begin to change your mind at rapid pace, change the way you handle life situations, change the way you look at life itself. Like it's important to look at things from a different perspective, even when it comes to your money. The old way is the way. Do you know that the world is not producing? They're reproducing a new gold standard. Gold is expected to go up by the ounce. Gold by the ounce is going to go up to about, what is it at now? About $2,800 an ounce, something like that. It's going to be around $10,000 for an ounce. That's going to be the world standard for gold. Silver is going to go up to, it's about $23, $30-something right now. That's expected to go up to $300 to $400, maybe $500 an ounce for silver. You feel me? This is what I'm saying. So this is the time to load up on precious minerals. Load up on it. This is why they don't want us to get the money. This is what I'm trying to tell you. See, look, when and we talked about this so many times, but like, we got to go over stuff. When Trump signed that bill to give us you can call it reparations, but it was really a stimulus package. That money was only supposed to go to Black people in North America. That money would then be utilized by us. This is why it was so important for it to be kept away from us. There's so much money in that bill. They are still on YouTube trying to give it away. Have you signed up for this? Have you signed up for that? Have you signed up for this? All of that stuff that you see on YouTube, man, the government lying to us. They got this money for us and we can get these food stamp cards and this, that, and the third. All of those advertisements that you see on YouTube, all of that is coming from the money that was supposed to be given to the Indians for the genocide in America. They haven't even cut into it halfway. Okay? And they done gave away hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, and they still have not cut into it even halfway. You understand? They're trying to, within this last quarter, in this last year alone, they spent over $500 billion, okay? Frivolously, giving it to foreigners, giving it to migrants, give it to this one, send it over there to the Ukraine. Just get rid of it. It's a hot potato. Because when Trump comes, when the floodgate open up on the information for what's been going on, it's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be hell to pay because our people have been they are working to keep it away from us. That's all that's going on. If you sit back and watch, everybody else can get their hands on something. There's programs for everybody. Small business this, that, and the third. XYZ. Go over here. You an immigrant, go over here. You can't be an American citizen, though. What? Think about that. Think about that. So now I'm going to tell you what's happening. Because they're in such a frantic position to keep this away from us, other people that have classified themselves as Americans are now getting caught up in the whirlwind. See, before, when you didn't have so much going on, it was easy to kind of separate the white people from, these folks and let these folks feel the pressure and make sure that the white people don't really feel it. But now you're getting too many of these white people getting caught up in the whirlwind with us. Now they getting denials. Now they houses tearing up in hurricanes and stuff, and they getting denied. What? And what you see? Complain, 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 don't it? What the government doing? They're not looking out for us. They're leaving us over here stranded and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, I bet they is. The footstool gonna be made the head. The footstool is going to be made the head. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen one way or another, even if it got to happen by divisive means, because it's going to happen. The footstool is going. Y'all gonna talk y'all way right into us being the head again, because everybody is trying to target black people for what's going on in this country. We ain't got nothing to do with it, but we have everything to do with it. We have everything to do with what's going on, and they know it. So now look. Meanwhile, the other parts of the world is coming to us. You know, black people in America, y'all need to remember. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to see what's going on around the world so y'all can fix yourselves so that the rest of the world can be saved. Now, those videos wiped off the internet. Okay? What do we get in return? So this is the same type of admiration coming from a different display. So look, black people, y'all think y'all supposed to hold us up and we're all Americans and we're all one. So now you want to come at us from anger, but you still need us. See, before now you asking for us, you begging, pleading with us, please y'all wake up so they won't do this to us. Please y'all wake up. Y'all being nice. Now you're mad. It's like you going through what? What is that? The 7 degrees of grief or something like that? Now you're mad. Black people, y'all think that this and the third. We not the ones out here making y'all can't vote. We not the ones out here denying y'all on y'all FEMA application. It's not us. Why you mad at us for? Because we don't care. That's all. When we was getting hung by trees, you didn't care. So y'all that mad at us because we don't care? Interesting. That's interesting. You see? So now it lets you know that there is a worldwide expectation for us to take in the refugees of the world and take care of everybody and pay everybody bills, make micronations rich off our money. And we have a responsibility to fund these nations, and if they get into trouble, to bail these micronations out. Do you know that England has 60? This is in the British area. They have 60 brand new micronations that were split off and created, and they're all waiting to be joined into the United Nations. 60. Now, mind you, now Great Britain, the English, that little continent, that little landmass right there is really not that big. So they have 60 micronations that have popped up on that land. What's stopping us over here? We don't know about it, you see? So not only are they keeping us away from the money to buy the land and the gold and the silver and the palladium and the platinum and the lithium mines, and they're keeping us away from our money so we can't buy anything. And then they don't give us the education to create our own. So you have to understand who you're dealing with. So why would you go vote for that to go back in the office again? Okay? It doesn't make sense. Why would you go vote that back in the office? But the people who are supposedly representing black people and standing behind Kamala with all this strength and black fists and all this fake crap, they're not the real black people. Those are group joiners. That's what we're gonna call them. Group joiners. They got to be a part of the in crowd, the Freemason groups and the fraternities and the sororities, and that's what you're looking at. Those are they don't have our best interest, because that's where the Boule pick their people out of, to keep us away from what's ours. This game won't last. It won't last. It cannot last. Interesting. Okay. The Americas is also Grenada, Israel, the promised land, due to its abundance of resources. You can go look at this here. The holy city of Mecca was in Muslim Jerusalem, aka is a true old world, because the information is all related. They took the promised land, aka Grenada land, Israel, away from the ancient Indians, Aryans, chosen people, children of the sun, children of the corn, master race, master builders, Khmer people, Americans, which are copper-colored races. Nobody else. It was later adopted, meaning it was stolen. The word American was stolen by the Europeans. Now they call themselves American, but they're not Americans. They're not Americans. You can be native because you were born over here, but you're not an American by blood. No, you only claim to be. That's just like these people on these reservations talking about they Indians jumping around doing, they're not even matching the frequency of my people. You're not Indians. You claim to be, but you're not. Okay? These people later became the Ethiopians, then the Sumerians, Hebrews, Blackamoors, Egyptians, Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, Atlanteans, Olmecs, Mayas, Aztec, Washita, Buddhists, and etc. That was all us. All these names came spin off from us. People's descriptions of us. We rule the world. But how is this possible? Well, they convinced the ancient Aryans, Vedic Indians, Blackamoors, Egyptian, Hebrews, blacks, that's us, aka the Asiatic black man, and the world, that the only Blackamoors came from Africa, and that the Americas is a new world discovered by Columbus in 1492. This was all done so that the Asiatic black man from Asia Minor, Asia Proper, aka India Superior, this India is not to be confused with Hindustan or East India. Mind you now, India Superior is America. We are the original black man. We are the original everything to everything. It's us. That's why we're the most disenfranchised. So this is all done so that we would abandon our land. We would abandon our birthright. We would abandon our wealth, our culture, and everything associated with Grenada or Israel, the promised land, the land of milk and honey. That's these lands here that surround the eye of Atlantis. Yes, India Superior was in the Americas, and the Americas is the Orient, the East. It was stolen. Those white Asians, they don't have a home. Just like the European here, they don't have a home. They don't have an origin. They don't have one. They were created. And if you don't, we're gonna just have to go down that line. I don't want to just talk from the side. I want y'all to be able to see it for yourself. They were created. They're homeless. They don't have a home. That's why they move around the world to steal from others, because you don't have a place to be. See, if you go down their historical timeline through the Khazars, through the Khazarian people, then you understand how they were kicked out of Russia. They were kicked out of Germany. Then you understand more of what Hitler had going on. Then you understand why they were pushed over here to America. Bro. Yes, India Superior was in Americas. Americas is the Orient. This is very significant because scholars associate Egypt with being in the Orient, the East. Take a second to read that there. Let me go get this book right fast. Hold on. right. Okay, bet. So when you look further, you see all of these things are correlated. All of those names that's been given throughout history, all of those names were relative to us. Every name has been stolen. So when it comes down to looking at names in America, like Johnson, like Jackson, like Stallworth, like this, all of these are Indian surnames. They have a meaning in the American Indian language. Okay, then you get these spinoffs from people who come along to be like, something like but are not, something like but are not. Everybody's stealing from the Americans. Everybody. We can't make no dance moves up. If one of our greats die, now everybody want to beat him. You go across seas, you got K-pop. K-pop is Bobby Brown. That's just, it's like we can't have nothing to ourselves. We got crops spread all over the world that came right from here. Cooking techniques, things that people take from here, greens, cornbread, aka Indian bread, which is the original name of cornbread. Corn came from America. We are children of the corn. Like, everything is us. And see, the problem is they think they won because they think they lowered our consciousness to such a level or degree that we will never reach our height as being the trees again. It won't happen. Okay, it won't happen. Won't happen. The blood won't allow it to happen. So in one of these posts, there was an old world painting of an Ethiopian from the American landmass. Remember I showed you the Ethiopian? I'll show you him again. Hold on. So the painting indicates that he was Ethiopian. In fact, this painting is called A Young Noble Ethiopian. But you look at the scenery and the dress code, which indicates the Americas. There was a palm tree, bow and arrow, feather headdress. Well, the civilized world was once known as the three Ethiopias. You had three Indies, which was the Americas, Africa, and Eurasia. Remember, I told you it's a third dimensional landmass. This is a third dimensional reality. You have three dimensions. You have three bloodlines. All of them are eumelanated. Okay. The pheomelanin in the origin times was a curse. If you look into the African landmass, you begin to see more and more of these people with this mottled skin, like a cow. Okay, you see like Winnie Harlow. This is the curse, because the curse brought about something that the world had never seen, because everybody was eumelanated. Even if you were Asian or African or American, you were still eumelanated. Okay, so to see somebody looking like a cow with this white skin on top of the black skin was considered it was a curse. It was like an anomaly. So these people, because more and more and more of these people were being born in South Africa, so that's why they say South Africa is the origin of the curse of the white man. You got to go read the book of Enoch. See, all you biblical Christian people, y'all got to go read the book of Enoch, the book of Noah. Okay? In the book of Noah, it talks about the leprosy of the white skin, white hair with red eyes. This is in the book of Noah. You got to go read it. This baby marks the beginning of the curse on the land. That this baby is the beginning of a people that will destroy your people. This was told to the Africans. Okay? So look at this. Also in this post is images of the Arctic North Pole, Mount Meru, Garden of Eden, Euphrates, Ethiopian Greek word meaning burnt face of sun-darkened people, aka black Negroes. With regards to Ethiopians, Strabo indicates that they look similar to Indians, remarking those who are in Asia and those who are in Africa do not differ from each other. So Asia and Africa is one and the same, but they look similar to Indians. So if you got black Asians and black Africans, and they look similar to Indians, then that means Indians look like me. You know, it ain't no Indian sitting up here, sitting over here looking like no strung out Chinese man with his hair hanging. No, that's not an Indian. That's a TP maker. That's not an American at all. That's a mixed blood from somewhere else. That's not an Indian. I am an Indian. All these black people running around here calling themselves black and African American, these are Indians. They just don't, they forgot. This type of message is why Facebook and YouTube suppress me down to we only got 4 or 5 views, because we are the real Indians. And nobody can change our mind on this, because this is their documentation, this is their texts, this is their books, this is their scholarship, telling the truth to their people, because this was a time where they figured that we would never pick it up and read it. That's why they say if you want to hide something from a nigga, what you do? You put it in a book. They've always told us that. I don't know why we don't believe it. So look, so this makes sense because it is already firmly established that so-called black people were your first people. Black people were the first people because white skin is only 6,000 years old. How can skin be only 6,000 years? That means it was created. White people came on the scene 6,000 years ago because European skin only became white recently. Google European skin turned pale only recently. Okay, and here's proof right here. Here's a receipt. Look, see, we weren't even gonna get into y'all's lane yet, but this is the reality of what's going on. Look, European skin turned pale only recently, Gene suggests. See, gorillas' hidden history revealed. Although gorillas are our closest living relatives other than chimpanzees. See what they talk about, porch monkey? This is what I be telling you. See, you can't allow these things to get in your mind because that's coming from ignorance. People who are ignorant talk out of context. This is Science Magazine, news focused media. Look, American Association of Physical Anthropologists from Philadelphia, they talk about porch monkey, and look what they say right here. Gorillas are our closest living relatives other than chimpanzees. Their evolution is somewhat of a mystery. There are no fossils of gorillas and little DNA from wild ones. Now, a new study of nuclear DNA from the 2 species of wild gorillas offer a glimpse of their mysterious past and how new species of primate arise. These shot herbivores turn out to have diverged slowly into 2 species, apparently taking the better part of 1 million years, to a talk at the meeting of molecular anthropologist Linda Vigilant of the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology in Leipzig, Germany. It shows us how little we've known about speciation in gorillas. Okay, why would they have this article lined up with this? You think that's on accident? Let's keep it a buck now. Do you really think that this is on accident? This happened on accident? Okay, they telling you about the study of gorillas and the mystery of where they come from and all other kind of stuff. And then you got this lined up next to European skin turned pale only recently. Okay, now look, because listen, I'll straight tell you. I'll tell you straight up what happened, but you know what I'm saying? We need a little bit more scholarship so that it'll make sense when I say it. Because when I say it, you're like, oh, no, you just mean, you just this, you just that. No. You got to use your what you've been given to see the picture that's right in front of your face. Remember now they told us HIV came from a man having sex with a monkey. You remember that? Okay, now look. Now, it shows us how little we've known about speciation in gorillas, says anthropological geneticist Ann Stone of Arizona State University in Tempe. Previous studies of this paternally inherited Y chromosome from gorillas suggested that the 2 species, eastern gorillas and western gorillas, interbred until recently. But maternally inherited mitochondrial DNA suggested they separated more than 1 million years ago. Nuclear DNA studies sampled too few individuals to clear up the confusion. Okay, So they isolated DNA from the blood, liver, and feces of 18 of the 14,000 wild gorillas left on the planet. Left on the planet, including 3 eastern gorillas from Uganda and the Congo. So they're literally wiping them off the planet. Only 14,000 wild gorillas. That's it. In the whole world, it's only 14,000. Why are y'all wiping them off the map? Why are y'all trying to destroy the link back to your evolutionary process? Because that's what's happening. Why are you trying to destroy the link? That's crazy. All right, now look. Researchers have disagreed for decades about an issue that is only skin deep. How quickly did the first modern humans who swept into Europe acquire pale skin? Modern humans. In order to have modern humans, you got to have ancient humans, don't you? Okay. Now, a new report on the evolution of a gene for skin color suggests that Europeans lightened up quite recently, perhaps only 6,000 to 12. Don't try to add more time. 6,000 years ago. This contradicts a long-standing hypothesis that modern humans in Europe grew paler about 40,000 years ago, as soon as they migrated into northern latitudes. That's not why they went lighter. That's not why. This is a blood condition. This is not because of region. Now, mind you, melanated people, when you move to the north and there's a lot of snow and there's less sun, you will then see a lightening up of the melanin, but the melanin is still just as potent. They can still have sex with a woman and come out with a dark-skinned baby, even in colder climates. Okay, so yes, the melanin may recess more because of the cold and less sun to bring the melanin out like a plant, but it doesn't mean that the potency or the concentration of the melanin lessens. This is a lesser concentration of melanin. Okay, so this comes through genetic alterations. This is not something that happens environmentally. They can kill that. Okay. Under darker skies, the pale skin absorbs more sunlight than dark skin, allowing ultraviolet rays to produce more vitamin D for bone growth and calcium absorption. That's under darker skies. The evolution of light skin occurred long after the arrival of modern humans in Europe. But see, the thing about it is that people were already in Europe, okay? And that was long before the arrival of the modern European, right? People were already in Europe, and they were dark-skinned. Matter of fact, they were African nobility, okay, that had took over after we left them with everything that we had built. That's why you have to go read the history. Go back into the Greek archives and read the history of Atlantis and the Atlantean people. And it'll tell you all about us coming over there building castles and stuff, teaching people how to live in civilization, how to build cities. That came from us. Certain architecture that they cannot reproduce to this day. Okay. So the genetic origin of the spectrum of human skin colors have been one of the big puzzles of biology. Ain't no puzzle. Ain't no puzzle. You just want to tell the truth about where it come from. Ain't no puzzle. Researchers made a major breakthrough in 2005 by discovering a gene SLC24- or SLC24A5 that apparently causes pale skin in many Europeans, but not in Asians. A team led by geneticist Keith Ching of Pennsylvania State University. See, now they want to try to separate like they're two separate type of people. They are the same thing. Okay, don't get it twisted. All of them is Caucasoids. All of them come out the Caucasus Mountains. All of them the same blood. Okay, there's slight variations in the blood because of the type of primetic blood used in the creation. Mind you, now we're looking at Science Magazine, and This Day Magazine. I didn't make this. I'll be broke off. I probably wouldn't even be sitting up here talking to y'all right now if this was my magazine. If I wrote this, I didn't write this. So you gotta go talk to Ann Gibbons. And this was published April 2007, volume 316. Okay. There's the little DOI thing. Okay, so this is it. Look. So the team led by Keith Chang is an Asian name, found two variants of the gene that differed by just one amino acid. Nearly all Africans and East Asians had one allele, whereas 98% of the 120 Europeans they studied had the other. Now, look at what they said. Africans and East Asians had one allele, whereas 98% of the other 120 Europeans they studied, okay, had the other. They studied Europeans. Norton, who worked on the Ching study as a graduate student, decided to find out when that mutation swept through Europeans. Working as a postdoc with geneticist Michael Hammer at the University of Arizona, what did she do? She sequenced 9,300 base pairs of DNA in the SLC24A5 gene in 41 Europeans, Africans, Asians, and American Indians. Now, this is where you got to understand, where's the hijack? She didn't say Native Americans, did she? She said American Indians, Europeans, Africans, Asians, and American Indians. Why would you put that there? Why would that distinct four be the reality? Why would you list four distinct groups? Well, if you remember earlier conversations, especially if you've been following me for this, for this amount of time, in earlier conversations, we pulled up pictures and books that showed you that there were four distinct racial groups. You had the Europeans, which they listed as white, which we know were African. So these are white-skinned Africans. Okay. The Africans themselves, which came from Congo, this, from Africa. So they were black people, actually called black. Mind you now, black means pale. So the real black people was the white Europeans or the Caucasians. That's a whole nother conversation. Four distinct groups: Europeans, Africans, the Asians, and the American Indians. Okay? The American Indians, the Asians, and the Africans have a autochthonous phenotype. What that means is they are originally all eumelanated. So the American Indian is me, the Asian is the dark-skinned Asians, and then you have the eumelanated Africans. The Europeans are a spinoff. That's the fourth. This is the third dimension, you remember? So where do you get four races? Somebody's being grafted in. Somebody's being grafted in, because it just told us that the European blood is only 6,000 years old, right? So where do you get that fourth group from? Somebody's trying to find a home base. Somebody is being grafted in. Because if you want to talk about them, then where are the Hindu Indians at? Well, they call them East Asians, don't they? Somebody's being grafted in that doesn't belong there. Anyway, we're going to keep going. Using variations in the gene that did not cause paling, that's an interesting word, paling, cause you to go pale. They used the variations in the gene that didn't cause it. She calculated the background mutation rate of SLC24A5 and thereby determined that 18,000 years had passed since the light-skinned allele was fixed in Europeans. But the error margins were large, so she also analyzed variation in the DNA flanking the gene. She found that Europeans with the allele had a striking lack of diversity in this flanking DNA, a sign of very recent genetic change because not enough time has passed for new mutations to arise. First of all, you talking about a mutation. Let me tell you something. To mutate, matter of fact, I'm not even going to I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I'm just gonna show y'all. Mutation definition, okay? In biology, whatever. The act or process of being altered or changed. The alteration or change as in nature, form, or quality. A change in the nucleotide sequence of the genome of an organism or virus, sometimes resulting in the appearance of a new character or trait not found in the parental type. Sometimes resulting in the appearance of a new character or trait not found in the parental type, meaning it could be something totally different from the parents, right? That's a mutation. So that would make a mutation, because you got to understand something. We're in the third dimension. Most things replicate its parents. Plants replicate their parents. Animals replicate their parents. Birds replicate their parents. Human beings, melanated, replicate their parents. Fish, the same. Shellfish, the same. Bugs, the same. Most things replicate their parents. Okay? This is the common sequence of events in this world, in this landmass. The replication of your parents. A mutation is rare. Why? Because the base point of the third dimension is a replication of the things before you. So if you mutate into something totally different than the things that came before you, y'all see where I'm going? If you mutate, you change completely than the things of what before you. Okay, look. Mutation is a permanent change in the genetic material or cell or a virus that can be inherited by its descendants. Okay, a virus inherited is rare. That's like polio. It's rare. So a mutation is rare. So you're not going to get all of these pale-skinned people on the planet based on one mutation. What you're going to get is studying of the mutation and then replicating the mutation for what? For what? For an agenda. See, look, let me tell you something. I ain't make this up. This ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Not enough time. Look right here. Not enough time. Let me see if I can highlight it. No, I won't let me highlight it. Not enough time has passed for new mutations to arise. Mutations. There go that word. That's rare. Mutations. What are we dealing with? Now, mind you, now we talking about this. They waiting for mutations to rise from this. What is this doing in here with this? Mutations. Let me show you something. Ain't get mad at me. But hey, it is what it is. Because you gotta understand this. And this, I'm not just talking to my people only right now. Darwin's theory of evolution. They don't want to show us the picture. We're gonna go look up the picture of it. Okay. Now look. Man. Pigs feed, advanced. Expired certificate. Man, just come on. Look at this. They call this Darwin's focus on the elimination of inferior species gradually over time through a process called natural selection. It's a process. Look at this. First you have, that looks like a chimpanzee to me. Now, when they just talking about the chimpanzees and the gorillas, gorilla history, hidden history revealed. Okay. Okay. View available options to get this full article. You understand me? Now look what I'm saying. Look at it. That's a chimpanzee. Okay. The chimpanzee, from chimpanzee, you get the mutation to make him like Caesar, to walk more erect, to walk more standing up. He's carrying a tool. You see this? Now the chimpanzee has a higher cognitive brain function. Okay, all right. Well, you know, I can see maybe. Okay. Now, from here, look at here. He's still a monkey, but now he has a club, which I'm guessing is for hunting. His hair is slicked back, you see, and cut to length. Interesting. See, here it's just growing. Whatever was whatever. But now it's cut to length. He's walking more upright. And look at the feet. Look at how he's walking more like a human being. You see the arms? The arms are long, heavy here. The legs were weaker, shorter. Now the legs are longer. How do you do this to this? How do you go from this to this? More muscle tone, bigger. Look at the feet. They're getting bigger. You see this? Now look at the feet bigger here. Look at the muscles, more defined, more human-like. You understand? What is going on? How many mutations do you have in 6,000 years? Somebody got to explain this to me. Now look, now as we continue over time, they're saying that this chimpanzee mutated into this. Just naturally dry long soul. This monkey just naturally dry long soul turned into this. Now I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night, bro. I was born at nighttime. Now I can't lie about that, but I wasn't born last night. And you can't sit up here and make me out to be no fool, just to make me out to be no fool. So now from here, you have now this man looking covered in hair, but he's more defined in the face. He has eyebrows now. Look at here. Look at his nose coming out prominent. No. That's not how this happens. I'm gonna tell you how this happens. And we're gonna go. We gotta keep this a buck, because if we don't, then we're gonna get lost in the sauce. And what's the point we sitting up here doing all this for? Okay. I'm gonna tell you how this happens. What you have here, let's take these three and separate them away. Keep these two. Matter of fact, let's just zoom in. Let's see if we can zoom in on. Hold on. I really wish it was where I could just take them out. These two right here. This is the original intelligent chimp. Okay. It shows signs of intelligence. Okay. It shows signs of higher thinking. It had a better temperament, maybe. Because you see, chimpanzees are murderers. The ones that's out there in the woods now, in the wilderness now, they murderers. So I know that these are not the chimpanzees they came in contact with. Okay, because them other ones was murderers. So these are more pets. You know, temperate is good. The difference between this and this is that these are two different animals. That is the truth. How do you know this? Well, you can go into the wilderness and study it for yourself. You have orangutan, whose mental capacity is much different than a silverback gorilla, but they still look alike. Then you have the chimpanzee, whose mental capacity is much different than an orangutan and the silverback gorilla, but they look alike. Then you have the capuchin monkey. Then you have the rhesus monkey. They look alike, but they're different animals. Let's keep going. So this animal, they found him later. Wow, look at this variation. The chimpanzee, though his temperament is cool, he can't talk to me. He can't understand when I tell him to go pick up a rock and take it over there. He can't do anything for me. Interesting. But this one can. Okay. So these ones, you can kind of put them to work a little bit. Maybe like, mentality of maybe a 10, 11-year-old child. You know, hey, man, take that over there for me and do that. Then third XYZ, they become familiar, right? Then we see that on Planet of the Apes. Wasn't there monkeys that were switching sides and going and working with the military and they were switching sides? Okay. Look. They want to be a part. They want to be where the men are. You see, Mowgli. I want to be what King Louis told me. I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you. Man, you got to put all this together. It's creepy when you really think about what's going on. They literally came across these creatures in the wilderness, talking. See, because King Louis on the Jungle Book, King Louis could talk The other monkeys couldn't talk. Remember? Okay, so now let's break this down. This is a King Louis. You understand? These are the other monkeys that were around King Louis. They're different creatures. They're not an evolution from one thing to this. These are different creatures. So when you come to America and you say, I saw Bigfoot, okay, yeah, you did because you're looking at this or a variation of this. You understand? They're different creatures. From these creatures, somebody got the bright idea to have sex with it. Who would have that type of idea? Well, you got to understand what was happening to the albinos in Africa. The truth is stranger than fiction, man. I ain't never promised y'all it wouldn't be. You got to understand what happened to the albinos in Africa. They were slaughtering them by the thousands because they were being born everywhere. White skin, looking like a cow, white skin, completely white skin, white hair, red eyes. They were killing them by the thousands. So eventually they could not stop the numbers coming out. So they just pushed them into the wilderness. In the wilderness, these albinos came in contact with these. You understand? The upright walking, talking, thinking ape man. Bigfoot, Yeti, swamp ape. So many different accounts of the same thing. In some accounts, they tell you how these creatures are intelligent. They talk. They make certain noises in the woods that sound like animals as they communicate right over the top of your head. So they don't alert humans to the fact that we're out here in these woods talking to each other when they're not around. Then you have the lesser beings that have not developed speech, but they can grunt and make noises and communicate like cavemen. These understand the grunts and the noise making of these and the cues of these and the energy and vibration of these. So this has a direct link to all of them, but this is the genome that's mixed to create this. This is the primate that walks around in the world to act like the colored ones do. It's not my science. It's called gene splicing. This is why they have no origin or home, because their home is the woods. Like animals. This is why when they go around the world, now the original people are now 3/5 of a human being on paper, because this is 3/5 of a human being according to genetic splicing. Now you can get mad at me all you want to. I didn't make it up. I'm not here. I'm just here to show you, prove to you what is real. Now you take this information, you go study it for yourself and do a deep dive. Please don't do a surface level TikTok dive. Don't do that. No, go into the archives and look for the true scientific reports for what is real according to the blood. These people are 3/5 of a human being. The other 2/5 is lost in the sauce, baby. The truth is stranger than fiction. Okay? In the earlier history of Russia, there's accounts of them kidnapping female V's and forcing them to have sex with them and creating children that they assimilated into society. That's why when you go in Russia, you see a lot of them dudes be all real big and huge, and they had all that hair growing all down their back, and all, because you get this thing bred with this as a female. The truth is stranger than fiction. Now you go back to the HIV. A man has sex with a monkey, right? And it brought back HIV. When you go look at for those of you that are into anime, and you go back to the anime of Attack on Titan. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all. Look, Attack on Titan. Okay, let's see here. Attack on Titan has a primary character, the main character that's on the evil side or the giant side. Because the white skins figured out how to make themselves change from normal people into giants. Okay, so when the Attack on Titan happened, the white skinned male that figured out how to change himself into a giant, when he did the original breaking of the spell, or the breaking through to the spell to make yourself into a giant, look at what he turned into. I'm going to show you. This is the original. No, man, don't give me no access denied, bro. I just want to see it. Hey, you talking about? Let's see. Boom. Let's zoom in. This is the original. You see what we're looking at here? Look at it. What is that? That is a primate. You understand? That is a primate. How much more plain can you bake it? White skin. Look at the skin on these. Look at the skin on this. Look at the skin on this. Why is this one's white? That's albinism, my boy. Mixed with what? Primatic gene code. To give you what? Come take a look. It gives you this. And again, like I always say, I'm not here to talk about nobody. I don't care. Ain't that deep. For me, to think that it's gonna be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and third XYZ. No, man. No, man. Look here. There's no way this just turns into that. No. This is a different creature from this, which is a different creature from this, and a different creature from this, and this, and this, and then you go into present day. You see? Evolution. Now, this is just a degradation from here to here. But here, from here, these are two totally different creatures. There's something that happened to this one to create this. Something happened to this one to create this. Something happened to create this. Or these two things already existed in the woods simultaneously. And they found this first, and then they found this and called this an evolution from this to that. No, nature doesn't evolve like that. It don't work like that. You understand? It don't work like that. If an iguana has sex with an iguana, it's gonna make an iguana. If a carrot cross-pollinate with a carrot, it's gonna make a carrot. I ain't never seen two carrots come together and make a potato. Based on evolution and the need to evolve. I never seen that happen. Never. Okay, so we got to take, and then look how they show us this picture here. Look at this. Monkey less hair, monkey with even less hair, monkey as a man with a loincloth on, and then the monkey has completely assimilated himself into a full man that walks around as the melanated men do. See, but before it was just a monkey, a pet. Then it became a monkey with less hair. Then it became a monkey with even less hair. You see, but it was still a monkey. You understand? And then all of a sudden it became a man. No. It's the in-between space that matters. What's in between these jumps. Because you don't just evolve. It don't work like that. You evolve with assistance. This don't turn into this. There's no way. Look at the height difference. Look at the muscular build on the body. Look how it's built. The muscles are in different places. So instead of all the muscular being in the lower leg and the arm, you see what I'm saying? Not so much through here. Now you get less musculature in the arms and more in the chest. You see? You folks ought to quit lying. You ought to quit lying. Okay? So I just want to point this stuff out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? So we can see all this together. We can look at all this together. Because it's important. As with everything else, it's important. Okay? So as we're going forward, I just want y'all to understand that a lot of these things that we're dealing with, the lies are being exposed. So it may hurt, may seem like it's unfair, may seem like it's this, that, and the third, but the truth must be told. It has to. It has to. This Kamala Harris thing, she is not right for the people. Now that the truth has been exposed, what you gonna do? They're gonna try to still fill your head. But Donald Trump is like a desperate plea from children. But such and such said, no, I'm talking to you. But what about, no, that's what a child do, deflect the energy away from them. But what about Donald Trump? What about what he did when Donald Trump ain't been in office now but 4 years. Over the past 16 years, y'all done had this month for 12 years. And you want to blame Donald Trump for all of it just for 4 years? Lady, go ahead. It's not going to work. Okay? So now they want to talk about some alien invasion, this, that, and third. Yes, aliens do come down here. Yes, aliens are real. Yes, aliens, you know what I'm saying? Yes, this thing is a reality. The dude that took the video inside of the Miami Mall, he done disappeared. They done put out a worldwide manhunt for this dude. And now all of a sudden he come on there talking about it was fake. Man, get out of here, man. We know they real. We know they coming here we know they coming out here to regulate. How come the original people cannot access Asgard anymore? Why they don't have access to the Great Tree? Yeah, the Galactic Federation is here. What is going on? Now they got to make it look like we choosing all of this. Yeah, man, come on, man. It's time to wake up, everybody. It's time to wake up. It's just time to get up out of slumber, get up out of sleep. It's time to come up off the ground. It's time to wake up, man. But anyway, I'm out of here. I've been doing this for, how long have we been online? Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, we've been online for a minute now. All right, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to close this out here. It's been a long discussion, man. I hope y'all got something good from it. But I'll be back on, man. Y'all already know how I do. I'll be back on, man. This your man, Luke. Y'all be good tonight, man. I'll see y'all later on, all right? Keep it easy. Peace.
Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMM online radio.